broadcasting live across Australia and across the world. This is Live FM. I'm Ralph Barba, and we're broadcasting from the Catholic Leadership Centre in East Melbourne in Australia. And I'm having a fantastic time here at STEM Mad 2019. And our next school, and I think I've spoken to hundreds of young students, inspiring students today on Live FM. This one here is a second group from Sacred Heart Geelong. We always spoke to some special young women doing some wonderful STEM projects in the first group. And this one here doesn't look any lesser, I've got to say. We've got Satine, we've got Georgina, we've got Sophie M, Sophie C, Emma and Eve. And also with them is Dr. Mel Thompson, who's a microbiologist, CSIRO STEM professionals in schools. And they're in a partnership with Sacred Heart Geelong, and it's a STEAM focus. So let's start with Mel. How are you, Mel?
I'm very well, thank you.
That was a long introduction, wasn't it, girls?
Yeah.
Very long introduction, but we've got to give you all some kudos here for the great work you're doing. Mel, firstly, tell us about your work with Sacred Heart. Sounds like a school that's doing wonderful things for young women.
Yes, absolutely. And I sort of went in there. I was partnered with Gerard Raven, who is the vice principal, and he contacted me and said, well, do you want to come in? We've got a new space for a sort of mentor in residence, and we've got a lab space, and do you want to come in and use it? And I'm like, yes, please. But because, as we've heard already today, that Sacred Heart has the amazing Bradbury Club, so I didn't have to do the sort of STEM sciencey science like I would normally do. And so it gave me the opportunity to work with Gerard on a much broader range, a much broader sort of scope. And we actually were working with the Year 9 RE class, and that they were looking at sort of global issues to do with climate change. And so I then took science that I had done at my time as a researcher at Deakin University, where I was designing coatings for warships to stop marine fouling, and turned that into a STEAM project where we're actually using that investigative stuff to then actually produce an artwork at the end. And
fantastic. So Satine, tell me about your role in this. Firstly, give me a bit of a view of how you see the program, your interpretation of the program, and what it looks like.
Well, basically, it was started off as the RE subject, Big Issues, that we all chose. And within that, we, of course, what Dr. Mel said, we got to look over a number of different issues, and we settled on the idea of climate change. And we decided to look deeper into climate change, and found that fast fashion was a large contributing issue to climate change. And we basically have all the same role in the project. We all kind of work together as a team.
Okay, and Georgina, tell me about what you've loved most about this whole project.
I really liked how hands-on it was, being able to doing the engraving on our pieces of metal. We used these engraver thing, and we also got to paint them with the anti-corrosion coats, and it was really fun going to the Viva refinery and taking them out of the water and seeing what they'd look like. I just enjoyed how hands-on it was, and how involved we got to be with it. Yeah.
And Sophie M, what were the challenges you faced through this whole process?
Doing the project, it took a lot of time, and there was just a lot of different things that we had to do to contribute to the project. And it was most challenging was just waiting. There was a lot of time we had to wait for the corrosion, so we couldn't do stuff while we'd...
Yeah, sure. So Sophie C, tell us about the journey. Were there a lot of mistakes made early, which you had to sort of go back and have a look at what was done incorrectly, and and sort of forge forward, doing through another way, or?
It was a lot of planning. I think because we planned so much, we kind of avoided those errors along the way. I don't think we had very many at all. I just think that was a really crucial part of it, and understanding that we're all working together, and at the start it was just really important to understand what we're doing so that along the way we didn't make those mistakes.
And Emma, what did you love most about this whole thing?
I love just learning about how little things can make a massive impact on our, society and world, and how just changing where you shop or how much you shop can vitally impact our world and how sustainable it is.
Fantastic, and I've always felt, Eve, that no, you take the mic there, Eve. I've always felt that that your generation is going to save the world. Our generation stuffed up the world. You guys are going to save the world. Do you feel there's a greater responsibility, Eve, in your hands, knowing that you guys are educated in this? You're given the opportunities to do these sort of projects around sustainability and caring for the climate. Is this something that you guys are really taking personally, that you really want to drive?
I really think if we start now, we can make a big difference. But probably at that stage, not as much. But if we continue it on, then when we're older, it will make a big difference.
Fantastic. And so tell me about the STEM journey for you guys. We'll start with Satine again. Satine, tell me whether this has opened up your eyes to maybe a career in science or technology or engineering in the future for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think I really want to go down the line of science in the future. Science subjects, probably science once I'm out of school. Not really sure what focus. Mainly probably environmental, just because you've done so much work on climate and stuff, it would make sense.
Absolutely. Georgina, how about yourself?
I've enjoyed the design part of it. That's what I'm interested in, and I think that when I'm older, I'd like to do something in design and creativity.
Absolutely. It lends itself not only to the actual physical design, but the marketing aspect, promotion aspect, media, all that sort of stuff. It's all linked beautifully these days. And yourself there, Sophie M., tell me what this has done for your aspirations for the future.
I think the climate change aspect of it was really intriguing to me, and I think it would be really interesting to go down that pathway of trying to help the climate get back to a good spot, and that really interested me and inspired me to.
And at very least, the idea that you understand the issues, you've got some actually solutions going forward, that it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, it affects every area of life, and it probably gives you the skills and the know-how and the awareness of how to deal with that, irrespective of what you're doing in the future. How about yourself, Sophie C? Tell me.
I just think it felt important, doing something such as this and feeling like you are making a little difference. And I do think that climate change is such a big issue, especially with teenagers our age, with the strike and all that sort of stuff, and people are wanting to get more involved. So I think this project was really good and just really eye-opening that every little thing does count.
Look, I'd love to get your opinion, Emma, on this. Kids going out, striking, protesting, which I believe is a fantastic thing, but it's not embraced by everyone. Why should kids leave school, go and have a voice out in the community about something that's important to them?
Well, I mean, where people who are going are protesting to have a future, and with no future, there's no point in going to schools because we won't have there's going to be no reason to go to school if there's not going to be any future for us.
Yeah. And what's this project done for your aspirations for the future?
Well, I really want to be a teacher when I'm older. So just educating students on even just the little things, how to change our world for the better, Yeah,
and I think that's got to be part of every piece of learning these days. Eve, how about yourself?
Sorry. Well, I'm mostly interested in the engineering side, so I think it could help a bit in the future. If I want to look further into that, I could look at it from an engineering point of view, and that could help.
Fantastic. Mel, back to you.
Yep.
STEAM. It's sort of relatively new to throw arts in there too.
Yes.
What's the importance of that?
I think it really it allows people to come in from different angles, and I think that particularly when you're looking to get girls interested in STEM, there's a lot of girls that will be like, no, I want arts and creativity, and we heard someone just now, Georgina, talk about that. Yeah. So you to be able to give them that sort of wealth of experience through the one project, so that each person can take what they want away from it, rather than it being sort of quite didactic and this is what we're going to do and this is the outcome we're seeking. Like, it was much more organic, and we've sent all the rusty scales that have been corroded. They're currently at the metalwork artist called Cinnamon Stevens down in Anglesey in her studio, and she's now making a beautiful garden sculpture that is going to be put at the school. So that they'll be able to walk past that sculpture and people will just go, oh, that's a nice garden sculpture. But these girls that have participated in this project will understand the underlying concepts that we were trying to test, and understand that actually it's about reducing their consumption and thinking about, well, where does those $5 T-shirts from Kmart come from, and how do they get here, and how much fuel and how much carbon is spent getting that T-shirt here, whereas I could just go to the op shop and buy one from the 80s.
Absolutely. Mel, you're doing a wonderful job here. I think Sacred Heart, from the number of girls I've spoken to today about the innovations they've come up with, are doing a fantastic job. The school is really a leading light in this area, so well done. No doubt you've had a fair bit to do with that. So thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Enjoy the next stage of these projects. They're really great projects that you're doing, and really pleased to talk to you today.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
That was the girls from Sacred Heart in Geelong. We had Dr. Mel Thompson, the microbiologist from the CSIRO STEM Professionals in Schools, who are partnering Sacred Heart in Geelong in this STEAM theme project. Satine, Georgina, Sophie M, Sophie C, Emma and Eve. I feel I know them so well. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ralph Barber.
Right.
This is Live FM